was not an age of tranquil floodplains. It was the age of the river of giants. Welcome to the Chem Group. This is the Chem, a sprawling wetland of the distant Cretaceous. This is Spinosaurus Arena. A vast, humid system of rivers and swamps. Spread across what is now the Sahara Desert. Forget the barren sands we see today. Imagine instead a world defined by water. A greenhouse climate, hot and suffocating. With river channels wider than the modern Nile. It was a butcher's yard, teeming with giants. This ecosystem was overwhelmingly dominated by predators. On land, the shark-toothed Archaeolus prowled the banks. And in the water. Lurked terrors that dwarfed today's freshwater fish. And Onchopristis, the giant sawfish. A 25-foot-long river monster in armor. This was a battlefield defined by a brutal abundance of prey.
This watery labyrinth forced life to specialize, creating a predator of unparalleled strangeness.
It was the perfect arena for a hunter. But not a hunter that walked on land. Something alien to our understanding of theropods. We classify it as the aquatic terror.
In this dossier, we examined the Spinosaurus' survival weapons. Number 1.
Forget the deep, grinding jaw.
Spinosaurus possessed a unique sensory cone, allowing it to detect minute changes in water pressure through these highly sensitive nerve endings.
It was filled with smooth, conical teeth, perfectly shaped for one purpose.
Not for tearing flesh from bone.
But for latching onto slick, struggling aquatic prey.
Here, at the water's edge, we find the largest predator to ever walk the earth.
For decades, we imagined it as a bipedal hunter.
Its hind legs were short, its feet broad. These were not legs for running, but paddles for wading.
But its rebuilt skeleton revealed the true killing tools.
Its bones were dense. They were heavy, providing natural ballast. This dinosaur was not just waiting. A massive finned propeller. This was its engine. A predator that can swim faster than its massive prey. Its sail's true purpose is still debated. A display for opponents? A work air conditioner?
The nest, a site of profound vulnerability. Now, only the scattered remains.
But even a 50-foot aquatic tyrant.
The one battle that defines all life.
The struggle for the next generation.
It lived in the water.
But as a dinosaur, it had to lay its eggs on land.
This forced it into a state of agonizing vulnerability.
It had to choose a patch of ground.
piece of shoreline, seemingly lifeless, yet teeming with the hidden dramas of the Cretaceous world. A mother's instinct, honed over millennia, is the ultimate guardian of the nest.
The colossal Carcharodontosaurus.
While the hunter was dominant in the water.
On land, it was clumsy, slow, and exposed.
This was the ultimate compromise.
Its nest was a battlefield on the border of two worlds.
From land-based predators that could smell the nest from miles away. And it had to guard them from the monsters of its own domain.
The giant stingray, Onchopristis.
Would have eagerly preyed on any young Spinosaurus foolish enough to stray too close. We have no direct fossil evidence of its nesting strategy, but the logic of its arena suggests a brutal struggle.
Did it adopt a strategy of quantity?
Lay hundreds of eggs, hoping a few will survive the ordeal.
Or a strategy of quality? Like a modern crocodile, a mother crocodile is defending her nest with unparalleled ferocity. We may never know. But this aquatic giant, this perfect hunter,
bound to its weakest point by its own biology. Here, in the Cretaceous swamps, the largest predator to ever walk the Earth stakes its claim.
A predator of this magnitude does not just hunt. It dominates. Its world was a two-front war.
fought against foes on land and allies of none. The land-based war was cold. A territorial standoff. Spinosaurus was the lord of the river.
They likely avoided each other, respecting the boundary. But when a carcass washed ashore,
these two titans would have clashed.
But the real war was wet. It was fought daily beneath the murky surface. Oncopristis stingray. This was not an easy hunt. Oncopris possesses dermal denticles, identical in structure to teeth.
And it was armed with a 7-foot, tooth-studded rostrum.
This was a joust between monsters. We have the battle scars to prove it. A Spinosaurus vertebra was found.
The wound shows signs of infection.
This hunter endured a crippling, agonizing injury from its chosen prey.
This is not an unchallenged monarch. It's a quarrelsome, squabbling individual.
It had to contend with giant crocodiles.
Coelacanth as big as cars.
A tactical chess match in a river of giants.
The aquatic terror would eventually fall. Not to a rival, but to a changing climate.
As its river arena dried up, its reign ended. But the legacy of Spinosaurus is unlike any other.
A bizarre, dead-end experiment.
Unearthed in the sands of Egypt, this magnificent creature was meticulously reassembled. Only
A sail-backed brawler that snapped a T-Rex's neck.
But its true legacy is written in the tragic history of its own fossils. The original, beautiful skeleton. Discovered by Ernst Stromer in Egypt. Was displayed in a German museum.
1944, an Allied bombing raid destroyed the museum.
The original Spinosaurus was blasted into dust.
Lost forever. For half a century, our hunter was only a memory. A handful of photographs and drawings pieced the puzzle back together.
For millions of years, the world knew nothing of this creature. Now,
Spinosaurus was not just a dinosaur.
It is a profound lesson in humility. It is the ultimate paleontological record. It is a living document, rewritten by each new discovery.
This hunter was a perfect weapon
For an arena that vanished.
Spinosaurus is the ultimate proof that the past is never truly settled.
It is a mystery, still emerging from the stone.
For you
Is the legacy of Spinosaurus.
the weapons it was rebuilt with.
The struggle it endured at the water's edge.
or the fossil record that was lost and found again?
Whose survival chronicle should we reconstruct next?
Nominate a new paleontological record in the comments.